Good afternoon, it's Monday, June 23rd, 2025. Mental health is real. Seek help, end the stigma. On the news this afternoon. Police summon Ahoda East CSO over attack on council administrator. Civil Service Week continues today. Senate Constitution Review Committee announces 2-day public hearings across geopolitical zones. NNPCL increases petrol price in Lagos, Abuja. On the foreign scene, Israel recovers bodies of 3 hostages held in Gaza. I'm Ifechuku Mwanyili with the news. The Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, Olubenga Adeboju, has summoned the Ahoda East Chief Security Officer, Mr. Hector Ekaketa, to the State Police Headquarters in Port Harcourt for questioning. It follows the violent attack on the sole administrator of Ahoda East Local Government Area of Rivers State, Goodluck Ihanacho. The CP gave the order after he visited the attack scene alongside heads of other security agencies. He warned that failure to comply with the invitation will result in severe consequences. A statement by the Police Relations Officer of the State Police Command, SP Grace Iringikoko, said the matter is being investigated. The statement said the incident happened last Friday when a group of about 30 individuals stormed the council secretariat and beat up the administrator. It said the group was led by Ekaketa and the chief of staff to the Ahoda East sole administrator. It said the assailants beat up Ihanacho, stole his mobile phones and forcefully compelled him to sign a letter of resignation. They also carted away vital official and personal document from his office. The administrator, who sustained injuries during the attack, is currently receiving medical attention and is said to be in stable condition. The viral video of the incident shows the Ahoda East administrator sitting on the floor and surrounded by machete-wielding youth in his office who barked at him to sign a resignation letter placed in front of him. Recall that last Friday, the Ahoda East administrator refuted reports that he resigned after his resignation letter went viral. Meanwhile, Hector Ekaketa has denied any involvement in the assault on the Ahoda East Council administrator. He made the denial in an audio message to correspondent Emekotoka.
I never carried any hoodlums to go and attack Mr. Goodluck Ihanacho. It is the youth of the AGA that came to visit him to tell him why he has refused to take care of the council, sanitation and paying of security, and also underpaying of political appointees. So as a CSO, I only see people that enter to his office and also came out. So whoever that is mentioning my name, he's just trying to allege I was not at the scene of the crime. I never mobilized any person. So he knows the kind of word he used on the youth, and then they now started exchanging words.
The Chief Security Officer also called on the CP and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to investigate the administrator over alleged misappropriation of council funds.
So the CP and the EFCC should even call him to order and checkmate him. For the 2 months that we have stayed in office, what we have is only 41 million naira. April allocation was 800 million. He declared 700 million. May allocation was 600 million outside the excess crude of 100 and something million. He declared 500 million. Who is deceiving who? Political appointees, payment short paid, wage be high. So if they confront a leader and then they now started to ridicule those people and then they have confrontation and started pushing each other, how am I in the picture?
In the meantime, the National Chairman of the Fence for Human Rights and Democracy, Mr. Clifford Solomon, has called on the police to ensure that those responsible for the attack are brought to justice. In an interview, Solomon expressed concern that failure to act could lead to similar incidents in other local government areas.
Is demanding that the Commissioner of Police and the sole administrator of Rivers State, Vice Admiral Ebok Etek Ibas, retired, to unravel and bring to justice all those that perpetrated in the act, get them arrested, prosecute them, and make them face the full wrath of the law, so that this will serve as a deterrent to those who intend to embark on such a heinous crime. Such crime should not be condoned, because if it is, it will serve as a precedent. Within the next 1 month, you will hear several cases of this kind of incidents occurring in several local government areas.
A lawyer and conflict resolution specialist Ndamzi Ekulo also spoke on this.
In our Criminal Code Act, Section 356, subsection 5 of the Criminal Code Act states that a person will be said to have committed a serious assault when such a person assaults any person on account of any act done by him in the execution of any duty imposed on him by law, is guilty of felony and liable to imprisonment for 3 years. Our youths should learn how to be law-abiding, because if you want an information from a government, the Freedom of Information Act, particularly Section 1, Section 3, 7, and 20, allows you grounds wherein you can ask for documents, you can ask for information from the government. If the government refuses, then you take up legal action against the government.
Ekulo also advised young people not to see politics as the only means of survival.
That action further shows the level of politics we are playing in Nigeria. People now do not want to do anything but just want to engage in politics. Everybody must not be a politician. Youths of these days should be engaged with meaningful skills and trades and other means of legitimate ways of making money. Everybody must not be in politics.
Moving on now, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has reportedly rejected what it describes as unwarranted interference by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in its internal affairs. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja on Sunday, the PDP National Publicity Secretary Deborah Ologunwawa said INEC lacks the constitutional power to regulate its National Executive Committee meeting unless such meetings involve the election of party officers or candidates. He insisted the party will proceed with its National Executive Committee meeting scheduled for June 30th, adding that the party had complied with the 21-day notification rule and submitted its notice to INEC on May 13, which was acknowledged by the Commission on the same day. However, INEC, in a response dated June 13, raised concerns over the signatories to the PDP's letter, stating that the notice was invalid because it was not jointly signed by the party's national chairman and national secretary as required under its regulations. Has handed over the chairmanship of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government to President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone. Tinubu ended his 2-year tenure at the ECOWAS Authority's 67th Ordinary Session by symbolically handing over the emblem to the incoming chair on Sunday. He expressed confidence in the region's continued path toward peace, stability, and prosperity, describing his tenure as a profound honor and privilege to have led the esteemed body since July 2023. Continues today. Stay with us. Continues today, there are growing concerns about attitudes to work in the civil service, which is the engine room of government operations. Civil Service Week, which runs from 20th to 28th June, is an annual event to celebrate and recognize the contributions of civil servants. But from delayed responses to critical files to a general air of impassivity in public institutions, critics say the workforce meant to uphold the effectiveness of government programs is increasingly disengaged. Our correspondent who visited the state and federal secretariat in Rivers State last week observed that at 2:30 p.m., several offices were already locked despite official working hours ending at 4 p.m., while some attributed to poor welfare, inadequate supervision, and systemic inefficiencies. Others point to a deeper erosion of purpose, accountability, and motivation within public service. But some civil servants say their workdays are stressful, burdened by unrealistic expectations and a lack of institutional support, essential tools, and materials needed to perform their duties efficiently.
As a civil servant, we try to gather our reports. A typical day used to be hectic for us. We are not mobile, so going out, jumping from one vehicle to the other to gather reports is always hectic. Anyway, it helps me grow because different people we meet. Some will make you grow, some will even make you annoying, but it helps me mentally to grow.
The day at work looks very interesting. Once I get out of the house, I have my program for the day to accomplish. Once those tasks are accomplished, I'm satisfied. That's one thing civil service does. It tends to a kind of discipline one concerning matters that has to do with responsibilities. Every morning you leave your house, you come to the office, you carry out your responsibilities, it becomes a routine. By the time you know it, it becomes part of you.
Meanwhile, public affairs analyst Dr. Isaac Owadiono has linked the perceived lack of mental agility among civil servants to a flawed recruitment process. Owadiono said this in an interview with correspondent Constance Iruelemega as the world marks Civil Service Week from June 28th to June 28th. Now, he said many are employed without prior training or mentorship, adding that corruption has made it difficult to uphold standards of excellence.
But we will run a system where every 3 years you are promoted, whether you have gone through evaluation test or not. Somebody enters into the civil service, in 7 years he's in grade level 12. Maybe he entered as a secondary school leaver. While he's there, he's going to university, he has a degree now. He's in grade level 12. He's not sure of his tenses. He has not challenged his mental acuity. He has no sense of direction on accountability. He's being pushed and pushed until he gets to level 13, level 14. So I retired as an assistant director. I retired as a director. What is your input into the civil service?
Owadiono also criticized the culture of automatic promotion based solely on certificates and years of service without proper mental evaluation. Continue, the 1999 Constitution has announced 2-day zonal public hearings across Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones on July 4th and 5th. The hearings, part of a nationwide consultation process, aim to gather citizens' input on key governance issues. The sessions, chaired by Deputy Senate President Senator Barau Jibrin, will be held simultaneously in Lagos, Enugu, Ikot-Ekpene, Jos, Maiduguri, and Kano. Over 50 proposals will be reviewed, covering topics such as local government autonomy, gender representation, state police, judicial reforms, and the creation of new states. In other news, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has scheduled Saturday, June 28, 2025 for the conduct of its Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME MOPUP exercise. A statement by the board said the MOPUP exam is meant to accommodate about 5,000 candidates affected by biometric verification issues during the main exam, as well as about 91,000 others who missed either or both the main and reset exams. This brings the total number of rescheduled candidates to 96,838 who will sit the exam in 183 centers nationwide. JAMB has directed all eligible candidates to begin printing their examination notification slips starting Monday, June 23, 2025 in preparation for the test. The board disclosed that 113 computer-based test centers has either been suspended or delisted due to technical failures or involvement in malpractice. Move over to business. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company NNPC Limited has reportedly increased the pump price of petrol to 915 naira per litre in Lagos and 945 naira per litre in Abuja. The current price represents a 45 naira increase from the previous price of 870 naira per litre in Lagos and 35 naira and 35 naira hike from the previous price of 913 naira in Abuja. Now, other marketers have also raised their pump prices. It follows the Dangote Refinery's recent move to raise the ex-depot price of petrol to 880 naira per litre. On June 15, the refinery announced a nationwide logistics plan for petrol and diesel distribution and the acquisition of 4,000 compressed natural gas CNG-powered tankers to boost fuel supply. In entertainment, billionaire Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and fiancée Lauren Sanchez celebrated their wedding week with a foam party on his $500 million yacht off Croatia. The day also marked her son's 19th birthday. Meanwhile, anti-capitalist protests targeted Bezos in nearby Venice. The couple enjoyed the lavish event with friends unboarded. In sport, former Nigeria under-23 coach Samson Siasia and former sports minister Solomon Dalung have countered statement by John Obi Mikel regarding the team's travel to the 2016 Rio Olympics. Former Super Eagles captain Obi had in an interview claimed that he paid out of pocket to cover the Nigerian under-23 team's travel from Atlanta, USA to Brazil during the 2016 Olympic Games. But in a statement, Siasia, who coached the under-23 team at the Olympics, dismissed Mikel's claims as false and challenged him to provide proof of payment. Cover the bodies of 3 hostages which had been held in the Gaza Strip since Hamas's 2023 attack. This was confirmed by the military and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday. The hostages were identified as civilians Ofra Keida and Jonathan Samirano and soldier Shay Levinson. All were killed on the day of the attack on October 7, 2023. The military said with their retrieval, 50 hostages now remain in Gaza, only 20 of whom are believed to be alive. Other news this afternoon you heard, police have summoned the Ahoda East CSO over attack on the council administrator. Civil Service Week continues today.